Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Lots to talk about today. We're going to cover three things. Number one, what is going on with mortgage rates? If you're wondering what's happened with the market, why rates are down, and what's to be expected, I'm going to do a detailed analysis of that. Click the video right below this one to see that. It's its own separate video, lots of detail going into that. The two things we'll talk about in this video will be how the mortgage rates for 10% down are exactly the same as 20% down, which you didn't expect that to come today, and how lenders can make disingenuous mortgage quotes before you're in contract. I talk about this all the time, but now I have like a perfect example to show you. So let's talk about 10% down versus 20% down. Rates are exactly the same. They're actually slightly better with 10% down. The reason for that is that when you have mortgage insurance, lenders aren't scared anymore. The mortgage is insured, so they don't have to worry about the risk. Now, you guys probably got turned off as soon as I said mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is not a bad thing. It's a means to an end. It's a way to get into a home. As you pay your mortgage every month, you're paying down your loan amount. And while you're living in your home, it's appreciating in value. So between those two things, you're gaining equity. As soon as you have 20-ish% equity, you can call your mortgage lender and say, hey, you know what? I have a 22% equity in my home now. I'd like you to remove the mortgage insurance. And they go, you know what? We'd love to look at that for you. Let us do an appraisal to find out. Appraisal comes back, they go, you're right. We would love to remove that mortgage insurance for you, and it's gone. So it's temporary. The only time it's not temporary is when you use FHA financing. And FHA financing, we're usually looking at like 3.5%, 5% down. Now, when we do that, you can always refinance out of it. And I'm helping people with that right now. So mortgage insurance is not a bad thing. I had a client recently say, I'm going to continue to rent. I just renewed my lease for 2 years at $3,000 a month because I think it's stupid to pay mortgage insurance. I said, help me understand the logic here. You're going to continue to pay rent at $3,000 a month, which has no value other than putting a roof over your head, because you don't want to waste $200 a month in investing in your own property. So you could spend $200 a month to have a roof over your head, including your mortgage and everything else, but that mortgage is now working for you. You think it's smarter to waste $3,000. I don't get it, but to each their own. He went that direction. I don't want everyone to make that mistake. So this is what I'm trying to show you guys is available. Let's move on to mortgage rate quotes. I say this all the time. You guys have to be very conscientious of the way that lenders can quote rates before you are in contract. If you're not in contract, a lender can show you any rate they want to. So I have a perfect example. I have a client buying a home right now, new construction in Alamo for $3 million. With new construction, you're often encouraged to get pre-approved by the builder's lender. So he did that, as he should. And he calls me and goes, Sean, I got a rate quote from the other lender, and it's a quarter in rate better than what you're showing me. I said, totally get it, but he probably hasn't gone into the detail I have at looking at your loan. I know that your loan doesn't fit all lenders. Remember, you came to me because Bank of America said no. So I just want to make sure you understand before you go down that path. He said, the quote's too good, I got to go down that path. Okay, fine, to each their own, do your thing. The next day, he comes back and says, you were right. So I want to show you guys what happened. I want to show you the quote that he received, and then within 24 hours of getting into contract on this property, the loan estimate that he received and how quickly things shifted. Okay, so let's take a quick look at what the quote shows and then what happened as soon as he got into contract. So what we're looking at right now is the quote that my client received from the builder's lender. Now what you'll see here is he quoted three different rates, and he quoted 3.25% showing 0 discount points. Now if you've heard my videos before, you know that discount points are when you pay money up front to discount the rate below market. So if you look at 3.125 here, you'll see there's a half-point discount, and if you look at 3%, he was saying there was a 1-point discount. But let's make sure we focus on 3.25 with no points. The next day, they get into contract. Within 24 hours of this quote, they get into contract. As soon as that happens, every lender is required to send what's called a loan estimate. It's a government form. It's uniform. It's made to create transparency throughout the transaction. So here it is. Here's the one he sent him just 24 hours after that quote. You'll see that we have a interest rate of 3.25. So far you're saying, Sean, looks good to me. But when we go down to the second page of the loan estimate, the first thing you'll see is closing cost details, and you'll see loan cost. And what you'll see here is there is an $11,000 charge for that interest rate of 3.25. Now remember, the day before he said it would cost nothing. Now he's saying it's going to cost $11,000. These are the games that people can play when you're shopping for a mortgage. So these are the things you have to be aware of. You have to make sure you choose a lender that you have confidence in that can get it done. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I keep saying that rates have become a commodity. Rates are the same basically anywhere you go. The money for the most part is funneling to the same places. So rates should not be dramatically different in one direction or another. As you're shopping for a mortgage, be very careful by choosing a lender who gives you the best rate quote. It may not work out and you may be stuck in a bad situation with not a lot of time to finish your transaction. So I hope this video was helpful. 3 things, mortgage rates right below. I hope it makes sense why you should consider purchasing a home before you save up 20% down. And I hope you now understand the games that lenders can play when quoting you rates. Let me know how I can help. If you need anything this weekend, I'm always available. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.